What's good with the YouTube convicts perspective? It's your boy, Big Flacco, smashing, dashing, sliding on through, as you already know, with a little bit of energy, man. What's cracking, everybody out there? I hope everybody stays blessed and positive, man. And we got an update on the state federal conflict that's been going on, man. Finally, some information that we can give to you guys. We've been doing a little bit more research, and we've been able to corroborate from numerous other people. This is what's going on currently with the state and feds.
All right, man, you guys are gonna have to bear with me, man, because I'm gonna have to dip back and forth between messages. So I'm gonna do my best to present it right, but just pay attention and you'll catch what's going on here. So this individual is having a conversation with somebody that filter was drafted and that silent we talked about just recently will help put out. Individuals in the feds got some filters. And people were asking about the end of hostilities and stuff like that. They said right now nothing's changed. They're working out the kinks and they're doing a project together, meaning state and feds. It's supposed to be something that generates a whole lot, you know, as far as maybe financially, whatever. That's the insinuation. So at the end of the day, as everybody knows, it's all about the cash. One of the things that were said, though, was that the state had deemed a lot of individuals that they shouldn't have never had the authority to deem them. You know what I mean? Individuals like whoever, you know, Powder's in a little trouble, he'll be fine. Other individuals, they're going to have to fix some of those things that went down that they may not agree with. But apparently there's a lot of communication between both sides, the state and the feds, now that some of those individuals are gone. And this is, man, we just got this information like a few days ago, and they're saying it was drafted the day before we got this. So this is how new this is. Let's see, Silence already received, you know, a lot of communication from the federal leadership. Draw your own conclusions from that. His name is mentioned very, very often. Another individual drafted it. I'm not going to put his name out there personally, but they're going to be working together. That individual Silent, as well as this individual who drafted it. Let's see what we got here. More about the hostilities was over, and they said they're working out the kinks, but for sure they're working on new projects together. As far as Chuco and Conejo, they committed treason. So they're working out the kinks on that. That's what they call it, working out the kinks. The state wants Corny and Skip to be deemed. We'll see how that goes. Let's see where we at. As far as pretty much, it sounds like they're going to make it out. Just a lot of things need to be ironed out. And it seems there's no definite saying here that, you know, what you have heard about Silent being a major figure as far as the state is concerned. There shouldn't be no more state or feds after this. It should just be going back to being one thing. But at this point in time, he seems to be the key figurehead, which makes sense. He's got the obvious commitment. He's made the ultimate sacrifice. He's been around a long time, held his mud through a death penalty trial. I don't know his intelligence. I've never met the man. But hey, I can't think of a better qualified candidate based just on that criteria. As far as the feds, what they think about Corny and Skip, they stand behind them 100%. So, you know, people in the state still feel like they should be deemed. That's going to have to be ironed out. That's a huge thing, bro, because that's going to breed animosity. Oh, you want to be deemed USOB? You know what I'm saying? So that's a big one right there. As far as the Tibbs situation, it said basically he got what was coming to him. They don't speak on it much. It's like 50-50, those who like it, those who opposed it. It got done. It is what it is, unfortunately.
You know, I heard a little bit of some more stuff from another source.
Yeah, go ahead, I gotta flip through these messages, bro.
I was talking to, and you know, what people fail to realize, right, is when everything happened, when these dudes ended up in the feds, right? There was temporary positions given out there to the state to continue to hold those positions temporarily until the federal faction came back. The guys that were in the feds, I'm not going to call them the federal faction. The guys in the feds came out. And when I was told that when these guys came out and were back in communication, these guys who ended up being taken into holding these positions of authority and power, right, didn't want to relinquish those positions anymore. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like we did that spill on silent, I think about, what was it, about 6 weeks ago. And that was our whole emphasis. Everything that okay, it's kind of ironic that you guys go back through our videos. We did one on silent and we discussed it. We said, you know what? If there was ever someone in the state that had a presence to be a factor in this situation, we told you guys it was going to be silent. And sure enough, I mean, that theory, that perspective, our perspective, it ended up becoming true. It's kind of just an interesting thing. Right now, what's going on is this, man. I've talked to the same person that Rojo talked to, and what's going on is they're trying to iron out all these kinks. Okay, there was a lot of damage going, but they're having communication now with those guys that were holding everybody back. Since they've been indicted, it's opened up a whole new dialogue between the Fed and the state. And so
Just
they're going
like we knew it would.
yeah, you know. So whatever occurs from here on out, you're not going to hear no more about no state or federal faction, I believe. You know what I'm saying? It's going to go all in one direction. It's what we thought, man. I just didn't think it was the communication was going to start occurring this fast. You know what I mean? These filters are already going out. They're coming from the feds, the filters, they're going to the state. And these C's in the state have already agreed to circulate these feds to every pinta up north. So it's already out there. Everything we're talking about has already been put out there. It's on the streets. It's in the prisons. Everybody knows exactly what we're talking about. There's no more, okay, I side with the state, I side with the feds. Pretty much it's gone back to one organization. And that's, we're going to see what happens from there. Is there going to be some power struggles? Yes. Is there going to be some people probably getting deemed no good? Yes. Is there going to be people telling? Yes. There's going to be people now that have also held positions that are going to be vying for positions, but there's also going to be people that are going to be fulfilling new positions. So the only thing I could take, man, this is just a perspective. In order for this to work, they're going to have to try to restructure everything just a little bit. Not change everything, but just restructure some things to make it adapt to where it works and it makes sense. To know where there's no more power struggle, you know what I mean? To where it's all one. You know what I'm saying? And I think everybody started to see the damage control that was occurring, you know what I'm saying, and up into these indictments. When they try to deem NOR records no good, when they try to do this and do that, you know what I'm saying? It all started to bring everybody's attention to where a lot of people did the smart thing and took a step back and let them work out their own issues. And that's what I said all along. If you're an Soldado, if you're a Northerner, let this stuff work out amongst its own. You know what I mean? It doesn't affect us one way or another because you know what? We're trying to help the community. We're not trying to promote any gang message and we're not trying to be a part of this propaganda as far as what's going on. But this is a reality for those that are out there in the streets. Does it mean that there's not going to be no more issues going on? Man, it's still going to be a power struggle, I think, for a little bit. There's going to be those vying for positions. There's going to be those that don't want to relinquish position. And there's going to be some that are going to be loyal to those that may be still on the other side. So they're not out of the clear yet.
And I'll tell you what, man, as far as not relinquishing positions or nothing, man, you join this group, you get a job, whatever it might be, you get somewhere where you think, hey, I got a little bit of pull, I'm the man, whatever. Everything's temporary. You're not entitled to anything. You're not solely responsible to take care of this one thing. Things change. And, I've seen it happen in the past where according to rules, nothing personal. This has to be done. This has to change. Hell, man, I'd be running the whole San Quentin, bro. I'd be the ultimate authority in all of San Quentin. Somebody new would come the next day. I'm back to a regular person. You know what I mean? It's the way things go, man. And some of these people, bro, these positions they're gonna get them in trouble if they start to play that stuff, man. Because it happened during Black Widow. It happened at the end of hostilities. It happened here. It happened there. They're not going to allow it no more. You got to let things play out, bro. Just like Flacco was saying, regular people, there's only a couple people that really have decision-making power. Everybody else, you're filling a temporary void, man. Mind
Yeah,
your business, let them dudes do their thing. You know what I mean? It'll get done. And I agree that this came about pretty fast, but I knew it would because let's just say 50 Cs in the state, right? Let's just say 50, there's probably more. 25 of them, I guarantee you, didn't agree with what the state was doing. 25 of them fully supported what the state was doing. That's just how it is. Everybody's going to have a different opinion. So there has been communications this whole time discreetly. And this transformation will happen quickly because of the availability of cell phones nowadays and emails and all that kind of shit. So this is going to change pretty fast, but stay in your lane. That's all you could do. Let it work out. And you know, there's got to be students, there's got to be teachers, there's got to be a boss, there's got to be workers, man. Straight up.
yeah. It goes to show we've been trying to you know, like I gotta reiterate this. You know, I don't promote the gang lifestyle, none of that, nor does Rojo. But at the same time, we tried to lace you guys up a little bit, man. Especially when we talked about rappers or those who have social media platforms, and you know, there's been people out there that have gone on their platforms and stuff like that, saying that they're loyal to the state and so forth, and woo woo woo. There's also been dudes that have been asked questions, that are out there functioning like F the feds. They don't run nothing. Now these are dudes that are just northerners or associates. And this is where I tried to warn you guys that, if you're going to be active, you're going to do what you're doing. I get it. I mean, because I was once one of those individuals, but I try to give you warning. Don't speak out of turn on business that doesn't involve you. If you're not a familiano, a member, or even, to the limited basis, maybe some associates may have some sway, but if you're not involved in that mix, stay out the mix, stay out the business, because now no one's going to forget what you said. No one's going to forget what you did. You know what I mean? Now there's going to be a whole lot of investigations going on. And the same thing is going to hold true about those that were loyal to the feds. And there's been a lot of individuals that were deemed all bad, no good. People that were involved in the Mateo situation that, jumped from Mateo, as well as a couple other individuals that the state deemed no good for siding with the feds. You get what I'm saying? And I have some additional information that I just heard as well, Rojo. I heard one of the individuals, man, that's going through this we may have one individual that's been going through this stuff, right? That's going to be enlightening everything to the realities of what's been going on, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to say too much, bro. You know what I mean? But there's some stuff that was brought to my attention recently, man, and we're going to go off that, man. But, this is why we try to tell you guys, NF business is NF business. You know what I mean? I know you guys look at us as, we're a public platform and we discuss the realities of life because we're trying to help you guys prevent yourself from making poor choices.
Yeah, they want to whack us, so we're telling you guys, there's already a check mark next to our name. We're trying to help you so you don't end up with one as well. That's all this boils down to. And you ask why we talk about it, whoop-de-whoop, that's why. They already want us. They've wanted us for years. It doesn't affect me any. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just don't want you to do it while you still have action at doing whatever it is you do, positive or negative. I don't want to see that check next to your name. That's all. I'm trying to help you out. Because once the check's there, bro, only about 1 time out of 10 will it go away.
So Rojo, okay, let's get to our perspectives now. How do you see this playing out from here further?
Just like we've been saying it would, the feds are ultimately, we won't even call them the feds. One ideology is going to prevail. And that's what we've known for a couple of years. Since me and you started this channel, we've hinted at it. We didn't want to cheerlead. Excuse me, everybody in there with any common sense in the comments has also alluded at that this day would come. Operation Quiet Storm just brought that day quicker. With removing a couple of people that, okay, they're in control. You know what I'm saying? They're running the state. Whether you like it or not, you do have to fall into the established chain of command. So there's a lot of people in there sitting like, I don't agree with what's going on here. With whatever the case might be, new policy, people in positions that, should not have been, whatever the case might be, there's a lot of people who still feel like the individuals that are in the federal custody. You know what I mean? I know I'm saying this fucking weird, but they share the same way, the envisionment, the vision they have for the group as a whole. They've been communicating as soon as this happens, as soon as this happens, as soon as this happens. The FBI basically brought the NF back together with this sweep. I mean, that's one way to look at it, bro. They just made it happen, got rid of the leadership.
Wait. So they
back on the
they
same
broke them up. They broke them up with the original Operation Black Widow, right? Caused this conflict that ended up happening. It didn't happen in the beginning. It was a little bit conflicting, but it was able to coexist for the first like 10 years until they went to the feds and became a little bit incommunicado. Is where all the conflict happened. Is where people started to assert themselves in the positions, and therefore, when these guys came out, this is what I've been told, man. I'm not gonna say where I heard it from, but came from someone who is reliably in the mix. Those dudes that were put in positions, were temporary positions. They may be holding the position in name and title, but they were to give up those positions once they got back in communication. DC was put in charge to take care of California and then fulfill those positions for people to take care of what they needed to take care of and do what they had to do for the familia. Once these dudes got back out and were in communication, they tried to do what they had to do and follow the law that they had to a T. These guys rejected it and short stopped it, ignored it. And then the next thing you know, here's what you have is you have those that are being gotten at in contact a lot, Baby Joker, Mateo, and other individuals, not just them, that started getting in contact with the feds to do what's been instructed of them and to damage control. What do you think happened? Let's hit these guys. So everybody that started to side with these individuals in the feds started to get hit. They started to get deemed no good. You know what I'm saying? Filters went out. I've heard stories about people who had allegations put on them because they had some type of either sway or social media presence to where they were affected based upon their loyalty to what they felt was the law. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now all that's is being shed to light, and now you got those who are ready to do something about it. And that's a good way to look at it, bro. I mean, they basically, with all this conflict, I mean, we already know when there's an internal war and conflict, that's even more bloodier than wars you fight with other groups. It's been like that for years. You get what I'm saying?
Real quick, you know who's going to come out of this looking really, really good?
Who?
Chente. The one in Santa Rita that's been hit a couple times.
Oh, yeah.
I assure you he's going to elevate.
Why? Because he didn't lay it down after being hit all those times?
Not at all.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They have something special for him coming, you know. He built it, he solidified his reputation, which is already pretty stellar reputation. I know him personally.
Yeah, I heard this is what I've been told, man. I heard that, you know, he got moved on twice, and I heard that he said, you know what, I'm not locking it up. The third time, you guys better kill me. That's how loyal, committed he was, man. So you kind of got to recognize that, man. I mean, I heard that from someone that was in the know about that situation, and he was still out there doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Rejected all opportunities for him to, you know, go out however you want to call it, man. And you're right about that, man. He held his mud.
Yeah, he's gonna shoot up. He was already a well-respected dude. It's just will just solidify that even more so. And there's gonna be some people who get touched behind this, you know, for decisions like that and whatever. Don't know how they're gonna get touched, if it's in the pocket, if it's in the fucking neck piece, there ain't no telling. But there's gonna be some ramifications for things that have happened. That's undoubtable, where they will lie and the severity.
By a lot of non-members, though, Rojo. That's the thing. By a lot of non-members, man. Yeah. Rappers and social medias and associates who thought that they had more pull and sway than they really did. Man, that's just the reality of it. You got a lot of people that are just going to be concerned today. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. And there's a lot of stuff going on, bro. There's tons of stuff. I talked to an individual yesterday in San Francisco, told me some stuff, man. You know, I'm going to have to verify it more before I shed it to you, but I believe him 100%. You know, we know a lot of stuff, man. We know a lot of stuff we can't put out for legal reasons. You know what I mean? Where we could be facing some kind of stuff if we said what we know. You know what I'm saying? We could get a knock on the door. But we'll still give it to you guys before it goes all the way public. You know what I mean? It just has to be a timing thing where me and Flacco don't risk our own freedom for releasing some of the things that we've had access to by some
And we, and
individual.
we and we don't want we don't want to be the filter for other people's propaganda either, though.
Yeah.
So like in hearing this story, I really had to think about it. I think I put it on the live when me and Rojo were talking about it. We're thinking, okay, you know what, man, this may allow people to take a step back and just let people do what they need to do. Just, you know what I mean? That's the whole perspective I had of it,
In
man.
your lane, I'm telling you. That's
You know what I'm
the
saying?
point of this. We're not trying to push anything, like Flacco said, we're not pushing no propaganda. This is just kind of a warning that things are going to go back to how they were. And if you're you know, feeling like you're a lot bigger than you are, you got to do a self-analyzation and put yourself back in your proper role. Friendly advice from your boy Rojo, man. That's what we do. We're here to look out, let you know the real. Things
Right.
are crazy, I promise you. And they're
This
going
stuff,
to.
you guys have been with us since the beginning, man, of this state vet thing me and Rojo discussed. And it's ironic, man, that we said this about a couple months ago, man. We discussed about silent, and all that ended up holding true. You know what I mean? So our perspectives can't be that off. You know what I mean?
They're not. I mean, not to brag or nothing like that. We can see this stuff before it happens because we've been there and done that. Usually for us, one situation, there's two different outcomes. There's multiple scenarios, but there's only a couple of outcomes. And it only takes a little bit of common sense and a little bit of experience in the lifestyle, and especially the fact that we know a lot of these guys on a personal level. I could tell you what play they're going to run before they play it. You know what I mean? I'm like the defensive coordinator that used to be on the team. You feel me? So I know. Just be careful out there. Be careful in everything you do, not just this gang shit, but in life.
You know, you're right about it. Everything you said, Rojo. This gave them the opportunity to Operation Quiet Storm gave them the opportunity to go out there and pull them strings again, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because without it, you got rid of all the snakes. No, I'm not saying all those dudes that are indicted are snakes, but a lot of them were pushing one agenda. Now you have the aftercasts that are out there. Now those people are in contact and can do what they feel is right.
Think about this, Flacco. Operation Black Widow did the exact opposite. It put everybody button heads. This one, the next one, oh, let's bring it all back together. Why not? Let's see what happens. It's things that the thing about law enforcement, they know a lot. They have a lot of experience. Their training is crazy. They have all kinds of people, man, that are still active. Listen to these words. These will come back in a week or two or three or however when I can drop this information. You'll have people that are still active that tell them everything. Non-actives, whoever case might be, they have all that. But what they don't have is the personal experience and insight to see how these things are going to play out. I knew this was going to happen as soon as this indictment dropped.
I agree.
And
I didn't think it was
like I said, we're not bragging.
I didn't think it was going to happen that fast, though.
When we
But you're
tell
right.
you something, it's for a reason. I'm not going to mislead you guys, man. Be careful out there.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to happen that fast, though, Roll. You know what I mean?
Got phones
Yeah.
now, bro.
Communication's a lot better.
In the Black Widow days, this would have took a couple years. The same thing would have happened because, like I said, there's two outcomes to one situation. And this was the outcome that was going to happen. Now with the TVs and phones, this and that, whoopie whoop. There's
Well, once again,
there's
the federal
government behind the walls watching this episode right now, and they're like, "Man, motherfuckers know everything." We do.
Believe it or not, though, right? The federal government just stopped a whole lot of bloodshed. Believe it or not, though.
Yeah, there'll still be some. There's going to be some casualties.
Yeah, most
There's going
definitely.
to be a couple examples that have to be made, but for the most part, what I would be willing to say, most of these people are just going to fall back into line because they were just following orders, and they didn't like it the whole time. They might have hated it. They might have been like, "Man, I should book this fool," but if I do when I'm wrong, that's it for me. You know, it put a lot of people in a lot of weird positions, especially regular Northerners out there rapping, "Oh, come on, bro." You're begging for problems that you don't want. It's a problem that's above you. You could be in your videos with your little drums and stuff. Man, that ain't gonna matter at the end of the day, bro. Let's just be authentic. When your name's checked and they say this one gets done, it gets done. I don't know. That's about it, YouTube, man. We give you a nice little fresh update. There's plenty more coming, and we will drop them when it's not, let's call it a risk for us to do so, not our safety or anything like that, but for legal ramifications, because we're not trying to go to jail helping you guys out. We don't get paid enough for that. I can't even afford bail. So so we're not going to compromise ourselves like that, man. But stay tuned, man. Our perspectives are going to continue to be on point, and the information is 100% valid. Have a good day. This is a Monday, man. We're coming up on Christmas, man. Stack some money away so you can get your friends and family them gifts, and you can send Rojo and Flacco them super chats and them Venmos and them cash apps. I'm just messing with you guys. Happy holidays. Hope you enjoyed this. Hit us with a comment if you know something we don't know. And we're out of here.